Today, we're diving into a fascinating investment opportunity that recently caught my eye: investing in Argentina. Just last year, Argentina was one of the least attractive investment opportunities in the world, but now it's quickly flourishing into one of the most investable countries and economies. In this video, I'll break down why Argentina just might be the comeback story of the decade, and if you're like me and always chasing a profit, how you can explore doing so by investing in Argentina. Let's dive in. So Argentina hasn't always been an underdog. As a matter of fact, they used to be one of the richest countries in the world. In 1913, Argentina was the 10th wealthiest country with a strong economy that thrived on agricultural exports. Buenos Aires was a bustling hub, often compared to major European cities, which ultimately led to more and more foreign investments and an influx of European immigrants. But then things took a turn for the worse. Economic mismanagement, political instability, and a series of debt crises led to hyperinflation and a collapsing currency. Policies like extensive government spending without much revenue generation, nationalization of key industries, and an over-reliance on short-term borrowing plunged the country into repeated financial turmoil. Post-World War II, Juan Perón's populist policies initially spurred growth, but eventually led to economic stagnation and increased debt. In the 1980s, debt crises saw Argentina default on its loans, further deteriorating its economic standing. The result, a nation that truly went from riches to rags, suffering under the weight of its own economic policies and global market pressures. Hyperinflation in the late 1980s peaked at nearly 5,000%, wiping out savings and crippling the economy. Repeated currency devaluations and austerity measures led to widespread poverty and unemployment. By the early 2000s, Argentina defaulted on a record $132 billion of sovereign debt, marking the largest default in history at that time. The social fabric was torn, with an increasing inequality and public discontent leading to protests and political instability. Argentina quickly fell from grace, and it was used as a textbook example of how poor economic policies can devastate a nation. International investors became wary, and Argentina's credit rating plummeted. However, beneath this narrative of decline, there remained a resilient spirit among its people who continued to innovate and adapt in the face of adversity. Enter Javier Milei, a controversial yet captivating figure. Known for his unconventional style and fiery rhetoric, Milei is an economist and politician who's shaking things up in Argentina. Milei's critiques of government inefficiency and corruption have resonated with many Argentinians tired of the status quo. He calls for a reduction of the size of government, deregulation of the economy, and fostering free market principles. And despite his eccentric personality and controversial statements, many see him as a refreshing change from traditional politicians who have failed to deliver on their promises. His background as a successful economist and personality has given him a platform to advocate for radical economic reforms. And he's not just a shock factor. He's genuine and is actually showing to be extremely effective. In just under 8 months since he came into power, Argentina has seen a resurgence of hope and early signs of economic stabilization. His policies aim to curb inflation, reduce government spending, and open up the economy to foreign investments. And early indicators show positive trends. Inflation rates have begun to stabilize, and investor confidence is quickly returning. Milei's transparency and willingness to tackle corruption head-on has earned him a loyal following. The future's looking promising for Argentina under Milei's leadership. Resurgence could signal a golden opportunity for investors to take a calculated risk. Infrastructure projects are picking up, tourism is rebounding, and foreign companies are exploring opportunities in the Argentine market. With a renewed focus on economic reforms, Argentina is positioning itself to reclaim its place as a significant player in the global economy. Watching these developments, I started to think that Argentina could be a pretty interesting investment opportunity. So naturally, I looked for an ETF because I'm not really familiar with a lot of Argentinian companies. Argentina ETF, which ticker is ARGT, but the thing was that 23% of its holdings were in one company, Mercado Libre, which had already seen a significant rise over the past year. So for me, that concentration felt a little bit too risky, and I felt that it could lead to a lot higher volatility, and I just wanted to be a little bit more diversified. So I decided to build my own Argentinian ETF. I headed to Finviz and used their screener to find Argentinian companies and then weighed out basically the valuation metrics and financial strength of those companies. And from there, I went over to Surmount, basically threw those companies into a automated rebalancing portfolio. And I'm going to deploy $10,000 of my funds into this custom ETF and see how it performs over the next couple of years. price to earnings ratios in Argentina are pretty low. I would expect revenue and overall profits to continue to rise. And I'll definitely continue to monitor key economic indicators and overall strength of the country, but so far it's looking really good. So if you want to use my Argentinian ETF, you actually can. So it's now publicly available on Surmount, and it's really easy. You can just head over, find it on the marketplace, and within a couple of clicks, you can deploy it into any of your existing investment portfolios. So that's why I'm investing in Argentina. With Surmount, you can access powerful data analytic, backtesting tools, and automated trading features to build your own custom ETFs or use something that someone else has built. Dive into the world of automated investing with Surmount, begin investing in Argentina or any other country for that matter, and let me know what you think.